Good day everybody, welcome to my tutorial, and today we're going to do Entrapta from Shera and the Princess of Power. Let's get started! Okay, so these are the materials you're gonna need. You're gonna need a burgundy purple stretch fabric. You're also gonna need like a royal purple stretch fabric. You'll need some Klingon window film, preferably the kind that has a sticky side on the back. A lovely pair of goggles. I went to Amazon and looked up bug eye goggles, and those are the kinds I got, and they're really well for this type of cosplay. A pink tank top if you have it, but I had to make my own, and I will show you how to do that later in the tutorial. And last but not least, you'll need a white tank top, which I will show you how to make the little dots on your shirt later on in the tutorial. Okay, so first step, we're gonna take our burgundy fabric, lay it down flat, and basically I used a stretchy black sweater that I used for Tara from Teen Titans, and I folded the arms and head piece in and basically used that as a pattern. And basically all you gotta do is cut along the outside edges, leave like 2 inches in between, and it'll help make a nice pattern for the shirt. And it's okay if you mess up while cutting, so like I said, always give yourself like as much room as possible to goof up, because I definitely did, and I had to redo the shirt another time. But basically the more room you give yourself to goof up, the better the shirt will come out. But yeah, basically give yourself at least 2, no more than like 3 inches of cutting, and you just cut out the shirt and you'll have the pattern for your shirt already. Yay! Next up will be the sleeves. We're gonna take some more burgundy fabric, fold it hot dog style in half, and I already had a sleeve pattern ready. I just took a sleeve from a different shirt I wasn't using anymore, and basically you do the same thing as the tunic from the shirt, just cut around it, give yourself extra spacing, and be sure to make sure that you label each side. So that was my right side, and then you flip it on the other way and that'll do the left side. But yeah, make sure you know which side is which, so when you sew you won't have like 2 right arms or 2 left arms. Labeling them will make it really easy, and what I usually do, I label it on the inside, so that way when I sew, you won't see where I left the mark of how big it is, or which side it is. And this is what the shirt looks like all cut out, and now we're going to sew it together. But first, before you sew anything, you have to make sure that your shirt is nice and pinned down. So just take the sleeves, make sure the shirt's inside out now as well. Take the sleeves, attach it to the sides of the shirt, and you're gonna pin all the way down until all sides of the shirt is completely attached to each sleeve, and you do that for both sides of the shirt. And also make sure you're using a zigzag stitch. For me, that'll be the letter B in the color gray. This is what your zigzag stitch will look like. I like zigzag because it covers both sides of the stitching, and it's less likely to break apart if I try to move or anything. The next part I wanted to showcase was the actual sewing process. Make sure you have the opposite sides facing each other, so when you turn the shirt inside out, it's going to be the right side flipped together when you flip it back over. Right now the shirt I have is on it's inside out, and basically you just pin the sleeve to the actual shirt once you get the shirt sewn together, and you pin it all the way around like we did before with the other sleeve. But basically, take one sleeve, pin it to the inside of the shirt, make sure they're folded basically in towards each other, and you pin the two sides together, and you do that all the way around underneath the shirt and under the arm and everything till it's attached, and then you do the zigzag stitch there as well. When you are sewing it down, make sure the folds are actually touching each other, and you're gonna put the zigzag stitch over that portion. So what I try to do, I try to keep the folds on top of each other and keep it as flat as I possibly can. Like, see how part of the fabric is coming in between the foot? You want all your fabric to sit right underneath the foot, so that way when you sew it down it'll be nice and flat, and you don't have to worry about like ridges in the fabric when you turn it inside out again. And this is the completed shirt with the two sleeves and the neck piece all put together. And now we are going to cut out the center, because that's where her shirt stops. It's not a full shirt. She cuts out the middle center portion of it. And also in the back, we're going to be basically shortening the backside as well, because it's actually really short. I also forgot, on the actual sleeve she has holes in the side of it, so basically I just made two big holes in the sleeves. They're about maybe 4 inches long at the longest, but you want enough to where your shoulder can pop out and part of the of your arm is able to be seen through, but you still have enough sleeve to where it can cover the rest of your arm. And here is me cutting out the center. I started a little bit over the breast line, so that way when you put it on, it'll stretch right over that. I honestly caution that you make it a little bit longer, just because when you move around, it'll be a lot shorter, especially with stretch fabric. Everything stretches with each other, so yeah, just make that a little bit longer than I did. And then once you start cutting the center, you can honestly just go around the back and make the cut to where the back side will be short. Make sure you're looking at each side just to make sure it's even enough. I wish I had put interfacing on the back side, because that would have made the front a little different once I sewed it. This is the shirt with the tank top, and now we're just gonna draw on the little dots. The dots aren't too hard. She mainly had like a sort of oval shape for one, and right now I'm drawing the little heart because one of the little oil splatters she had was faced like a heart. But you can use like a black Sharpie. I just had an artist marker, so that was all I had. But basically you just keep filling it in until it's nice and dark to where you can see it clear enough, and that was pretty much it for the little oil splatters on her shirt. The next portion, we're going to cut out the pants. So you're going to take your dark royal purple fabric and lay it down, and you're going to pin down the pants you want to use. I didn't have any bell bottoms, so I just took a pair of my skinny jeans and just pinned it down on the purple fabric, and basically you're just going to cut around it the same way you did with the shirt. Then basically after you finish cutting the fabric out, you're gonna sew both sides with that same zigzag stitch, and you're done for now. The next portion of the tutorial will be the tank top. I had to make my own, and here's how I did it. So basically you take a tank top you already own, cut out from around the base, and basically you're doing the same thing you did the shirt. Trace around it, cut it out, and then measure the straps. Mine were about 17 inches, but I gave it to about 19 for that sewing leeway. And then after that, basically you just sew it all together, and that's gonna be how the tank top looks once you sew it together. And since this was some stretchy fabric, I used a bottle of Rit Dye More in a sugar pink and dyed it, and that's how I got my pink tank top. And this is what everything looks like so far, all put together. Main word of caution, just make sure you really sew down everything so it stays all nice and together. Next up are the goggles. For them, I basically used some cling-on window film. It looks like this. It's about maybe 10 bucks at Amazon, probably cheaper, but it's nice and sticky, and I don't have to worry about spray painting or anything. But basically you just cut out a circle and use indentation to see how big you're supposed to cut it, and you just stick it right on. Continuing on with the pants, I basically took leftovers of my tank top and I sewed it to the bottom of the pants as cufflinks. The rest of the burgundy fabric will be used as leg warmers, and as you can see here, they will be used as pockets. You just cut out like a triangle shape and attach it and sew it on, and basically your pants will be done after that. And the last part of the outfit are the gloves, which all you gotta do is take a piece of hot pink fabric. I had some leftover leg warmers, cut them up, cut them into strips, and I honestly just hot glued them on the back side. And that's all you gotta do. And now for the makeup portion. You're just gonna take your lovely concealer and conceal all the dark spots on your face. Sorry if it looks like I'm talking. With this point in time and not being able to go outside, I just chilled with my friends while I did this tutorial. So if I look away or I look like I'm talking to somebody else, that's just me talking to my friends. Quick pop in of the contacts, and we're just gonna swipe over our eyebrows. Remember to draw on first, and then take the spoolie and clean it out. Just smooth it out with the spoolie. Next is our eyeliner, and I love this duo stroke eyeliner that I found at Marshall's. It has a double side, and you don't have to worry about sizing it because it sizes it for you. So it's really great. Be sure to swipe downwards because Entrapta's makeup tends to go more downwards in terms of the eyes. And pop on your eyelashes with plenty of glue and some nice eye mascara to make your eyelashes pop even more, look very big and very beautiful. Next comes your lipstick. I used the matte purple. You'll see later on in the video I didn't have any lipstick on, but that was my first trial of her and I didn't have it on back then, but you can do her with lipstick or without lipstick, it's up to you. Just make sure you have something to clean up. Then we're gonna neaten out our lips a little with some lip liner. Just go along the edge, try to draw where you can, make it as even as you possibly can, and that's about it for that. And lastly, we're gonna put on some setting spray so it doesn't come off anytime soon. And we're pretty much done. Then we pop on our wig. And then the last step, we're gonna glue down our eyebrows for about 5 minutes. I'm using a Elmer's washable school glue with the Gluestick, because you can actually stick it on your eyebrow, rub them down, and then wait about 5 minutes for it to tack. When you touch your eyebrows, they shouldn't be sticky or anything. Also, use your spoolie to swipe down the eyebrows to make sure they're really stuck to each other and glued down as flat as you possibly can. Then you wait 5 minutes. And then we're gonna take some acrylic paint and our smallest paintbrush and just paint over our eyebrows. I've done this many times, so I know it's very safe. It won't harm your eyebrows at all because you have that nice washable glue protection. Try to get it as thick as possible, but don't go too thick because you don't want it to look like tacked up when it dries. You want it to look nice and neat and flat. And my friends, this is the complete outfit. You can pair it with a pair of black boots. I didn't have the time to put the silver part on, but you can honestly just take a piece of silver fabric, glue it to the bottom, and that is it for my Entrapta tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye!